Hello, what's going on? Sean Don coming back. Two technical analysis videos today. Excuse me while I take a sip of coffee. Here we have Paul Rosati, Masters athlete. I think he said his personal best is mid 40s with the 6K hammer and 16 meters at the weight. So we're going to do the weight or the hammer video first, and then weight throw video after. Yeah. So let's take a look. Okay. So overall, I chose the best of the videos that you sent. You sent me 3 hammer and 2 weight. I think the weight, or the hammer actually looks better than the weight, which is good. But still some tendencies, similar tendencies in both. One more time. This is probably the most centered of all the throws that you sent, weight and hammer. So I'll explain what I mean by that in a little bit. I'll just do it right now. So the overall, you can see your kind of path through the circle. It's pretty straight. The orbit stays pretty much the same on both the left and the right side. There's no drastic shifts. Like I said, you're pretty centered throughout the orbit, which is good. Whereas in some of the weight videos, as you will see next video, you kind of start to drift down this left sector line, especially in the second weight video you sent me that I'm not going to analyze. So, yeah, let's just get to it. Break it down frame by frame. So 3 winds to start is okay. I mean, it's all personal preference with those kind of things. Personally, I think 2 is plenty. 1 may not be enough, but 3, you do a good job. You don't wind too fast. You're going nice and easy. You're nice and centered. Could be a little bit deeper in the legs. Your right elbow kind of pulls down a little bit here, but you do a good job of trying to connect. I'd say maybe get that right elbow up a little bit more, kind of like you're throwing a punch forwards. When this right elbow pulls down, it's kind of hard for you to connect both the left and the right side with the hammer. Usually just the left side ends up taking over. As you can see, so you're decent here, your head starts to go a little bit, and then right as the ball hits 0, you start to see that left side go ahead. Alright, so your body's turned about 45, 50 degrees ahead of the hammer when it should be with the hammer. And you can see, once again right here, a lot of movement coming from the body as the ball passes through 0, and then the ball kind of catches back up as you get to 90. I mean, you do almost the right thing, but you just got to work together with the hammer just a little bit more. You need to be more patient. And I think part of that is, once again, keeping that right elbow up as it pulls down. That kind of disconnects you from the hammer a little bit. And then from there, that right elbow kind of stays bent, and that right arm is kind of tight. Try to think about, so once again, elbow up, out to the right. Then also think about extending your right arm out straight as much as possible from 270, so this left side of the camera view of the circle, or if you're the thrower, extending your right arm out to the right as much as possible as the ball comes through 270, and then try to make sure your arms are straight as the ball comes through 0. So as you can see, it's hard to tell with the color of your shirt, but as the ball goes through right there, you can still see that right arm is bent and tight, and that's a sign that you're kind of pulling this left side, and you're very tight with this left side, dragging the ball across. You can also see your head, once again, kind of like I said, turned about 90 degrees ahead of where the hammer is, a sign of pulling. Your lower body does turn with the hammer pretty well. It's just that upper body, that left shoulder, that head, and this bent right arm that's kind of holding you back right now. Starting off the heel, you're doing a decent job of holding that left side. Like I said, you do a good job of letting the ball go around the left side, even with that little left side pulling. Like I said, the orbit of the overall throw is pretty good. One thing, I mean, I know it's a struggle for most throwers, especially, even for Masters athletes. It's hard to get deep in the legs. Perhaps because of knee pain, perhaps because of, I don't know, general wear and tear as you age. But I would say try to drop this left knee down. As you can see, you rise up and kind of straighten this left leg out. And because of that, it kind of takes a while to get that right foot down around it. Kind of as a post, and it's kind of blocking out this right leg from kind of sneaking through and stepping forward towards the ball, whereas you can see right now the tendency is to straighten that left leg out, and then this right leg comes kind of way around and your hips kind of come around. It's not very efficient. What you should kind of strive for is an up and down kind of like piston motion with this right leg. If you drop this left knee down towards the ground, it kind of opens up a little window for that right leg to come up and over rather than around like a discus sweep sort of. You still catch the ball pretty early. You're down on the heel, which is nice and stable. But yeah, you could just kind of, like I said, drop that left knee a little bit and step this right leg, drive this right knee towards the ball, and step towards the sector. That would help your direction of the throw, your energy in the throw just a little bit more towards 180 rather than around. So you catch, and then same thing, you can see the main movement here is this head and left shoulder kind of turning ahead of the ball. The left heel comes down, you're nice and square, your hips are level, that's good, but the ball is not quite with you. As you can see, you are ahead of it a good bit. Head starts to turn, left shoulder starts to turn, left leg starts to turn. I like how the ball and hands are over the right leg right here, but this left side just goes just a little bit too early. And you can see still same here, bent right arm. Once again, sign that the left side's pulling. But like I said, you do a good job of letting the ball come around to the left. As you can see, once again, just barely in frame compared to the first turn is about the same, which means you're still centered, which is good. And then from here, it's kind of the same thing. You know, once that left side starts to take over and that right arm is bent, it's going to be kind of hard to just break out of that whole. It's kind of like momentum, you know. The ball's rolling downhill; it's hard to stop. So yeah, more of the same. Make sure that right arm is straightened out, and then same thing. That left leg kind of comes straight, and then this right leg kind of comes around a little bit too much because that left leg is so straight. You're getting a little bit more knee drive here, which is good. Hips getting up into the ball a little bit better, but you can still see this right arm bent and this ball coming across the body. And even see here, you can kind of see yourself rise up just a bit as you come onto your toe. Very subtle. But then you kind of come down, once again landing on the heel. Heel comes down. Chest comes down a little bit, so maybe keep your head and chest up a little bit in later turns. But then same thing, like I said, momentum's already going with this left side, so you just get more of it. Very cross body with the ball. Picking up kind of early because of it here. Ball shortens a little bit over on this left side, not much. But you can still see, once again, very cross body, bent right arm. And then you see, because this left side is so tight, and you do kind of pull back just a little bit too early, the radius shortens over here, so your energy is going more towards this left sector line rather than down the middle. And because of that, this left foot, once again, straightens out. It straightens out so much that you actually end up coming off the ground a little bit. As you can see, your left foot kind of floats right here. And that's a big sign that the left side's pulling too much and you're not too connected to the hammer. As you can see, this very kind of crashy lower body position. Your right leg straight, your hips are back, your chest is down. And then you catch. And then you work up out of the throw pretty well. But yeah, overall, I mean, like I said, overall, the orbit of the throw itself is good for the most part. You just got to let the ball, like right through here, let the ball get ahead a little bit more. Try to get down the legs a little bit more. Small little changes, like straightening that right arm out before the ball gets to zero in the entry, should change the feeling of the throw a lot and should help with farther throws almost immediately. I'd give it a week or so to kind of make it feel normal, but working on those things would make a big difference. More patience, more connected with the left side. Yeah, so, alright. Let me know if you have any questions, Paul. I'm here to help. And if anybody out there would like a technical analysis of their own, go to SeanDonnelly.biz, go to the services page. Technical analysis, sign up now, $15. That's it. Indoor season, championship season is here pretty much, and outdoor season is starting soon. So send in those hammer vids. Let's get to it. Sean Don, peace out.